most viral moments on paternity court.
He manipulates you through your mind and you manipulate him with your maternity. Master manipulation going on here. That's why nobody's happy, nobody's satisfied, nobody's comfortable, nobody's committed, and that's why the children out here left with blank birth certificates.
A long-term relationship was crumbling. A baby's fate was on the line. Miss Lovett claimed she was 100% positive that the defendant was her baby daddy. Mr. Hilton, calm as a cucumber, denied the possibility. No shock there.
He's a deadbeat dad. He doesn't take care of the kids at all. I lost my house, my car. I'm financially, I'm just destroyed because he just want to handle his responsibilities.
Mr. Hilton knows a strong allegation.
I'm not finna take a baby that's not mine. I love my kids, Your Honor. I got 4 other kids, but Your Honor, I'm not finna do that. That's impossible.
According to the mama, the family had been devastated because of how cruel the defendant had been to the baby. Not cool, man. Every kid deserves a father. However, baby daddy had strong reasons to suspect paternity.
You have 4 other kids together.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
But you so strongly believe Winter is not your biological child, you said you're not taking care of her.
No, ma'am, Your Honor.
I can see that this really hurts you, Miss Lovett.
Well, if baby daddy wasn't backing down, neither was baby mama. She brought out the big guns. The conception calendar was out to reveal all its naughty little secrets. November was a merry time for these guys. Yup, all kinds of fun was happening along with Thanksgiving.
What I'm trying to understand, Mr. Hilton, did you have sex with Miss Lovett pretty much the entire month of November up until Thanksgiving?
Unprotected.
No, ma'am.
You did?
Possible, no, ma'am.
You don't remember it that
Nah,
way?
I don't remember.
What do you remember?
I remember the last time was November the 15th. That's the last time, Your Honor.
November the 15th in your mind.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Hilton wasn't buying whatever the baby mama was testifying to. Be it the calendar or even the conception calculator, he was dead set on denying the claim. Now, wait till you hear what made him so sure of it. Oh, how funny that was.
Just to see like if it's mine or not. See if it look like me or similar to my other kids, and I don't see it, so I just don't believe it. You know, cause she done lied before plenty of times. She lied plenty.
Really? I lied?
Look
Okay.
at my nose. I got a fat nose. Look at that. Come on now. I got slanted eyes. That baby eyes is big.
Leave it to Lauren Lake to figure out what was happening, even in the midst of this chaos. That's why she's the one who wears the coat and sits up there. She earned it. Now, watch how she explained the thought process of these men.
Y'all really not as strong
We
as us.
always make.
But I'm saying you all make all your mistakes, but then when it goes down and then we make our mistake, it's number 1, something you can never get over after it. And then number 2, when it comes with a new baby, he still hasn't even forgiven you for the fact that you slept with the guy. That alone for him
And we
is
wasn't
like,
even together. That had nothing to do with him.
So we know by now that these two share 4 other babies. Given that, it was safe to assume Mr. Hilton must be on their birth certificates. But guess what happened afterward? Man, what did this woman even see in this guy to begin with?
You ain't on nothing.
All right.
You don't take accountability for nothing. You don't take responsibility for nothing.
See, look at that head. Look at his head. You look like the baby got a receive.
That's his baby. That's his baby. Look at him.
I don't
Look
even
at
have
them
no-
side by
I don't
side.
even have no bond
That
with
look
the
just
baby. When I
alike.
hold the baby cry. Like my other kids.
How would you
baby
have
don't
a
cry.
bond if you're
They
not
going right to
around?
daddy.
How
They
you
going
gonna
right to
have a
daddy.
bond if you're never around?
It appeared the baby mama was a fighter, so she kept on fighting. She presented another piece of evidence to the court, and the defendant just shook his head. Seemed to me he was only on one mission: deny everything the woman says. And that made Judge Lake blow the heck up. If I were there, I would have cried, man.
do you have any idea what that's gonna do to them emotionally? Why wasn't I worth it enough? I wasn't worth a signature?
It's her fault, you know.
No, it ain't her fault.
Wow.
It's not her fault. You know
have
whose
to
fault
show
it is?
up. You
You
have
be
to show
quiet
up.
when I'm talking. I done been around the block so many times, I own the block.
After thoroughly schooling these guys, court was ready for the results. Even with the evidence, the case seemed to be going all over the place. But the results were fact, and nothing else held a candle to it. Here we go.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Hilton, you are not the father.
Told you.
Miss Hall was unsure whom she wanted as a life partner, and that landed her in more than one bed, and now a paternity dilemma was hanging over her head. The plaintiff wanted to get some real answers, and today's results were gonna give him those.
Mr. Elliott, you say you do not believe you are the father of Ms. Hall's son because at the time he was conceived, Ms. Hall was in a relationship with another man and later gave her child his last name.
Yes, ma'am.
Interesting start to the case. Apparently, the baby mama had been chummy with just one guy initially. Enter Mr. Elliott, and she threw mortals out the window and began a love affair with the both of them. Check this out.
After about 8 years, they started fighting and stuff a lot, and she came to me one day after they split up and we started talking. That's how it started from there. And the doubts about Noah is that when we started talking, we started to get together and we wanted the relationship. Well, after we'd get into an arguments and fight, she'd go back to his house every time.
Miss Hall just couldn't pick one guy. Indecisive much? I thought I was indecisive when I couldn't pick what to eat. But there she was, in a real Sophie's choice. Moreover, she wasn't shy to tell what she was getting from these fellas. Yeesh.
I love them both. It was hard. One gave me great sex. The other one gave me a great relationship and the support I needed for my kids. I needed it all from him, and then Max also couldn't give me that. The other guy.
I wasn't really financially stable at the time. That's how I feel like she really went back to him every time because his family is well off. I was poor growing up.
The woman had the gall to justify going back to her ex. Yikes. Judge Lake had enough of her justification that the plaintiff pushed her. Yup, and now she was about to get a reality check in the middle of the court.
I gotta get to this pushing part because what is it about the arguing or what he's doing that's pushing you? I mean, it sounds like it's just an excuse.
No, it's not an excuse, Your Honor. I can't be with a guy that's going to argue with me.
See, I can't trust her if she's going to go back every time to
Well,
him.
I don't think you can.
Well, Mr. Elliott believed they were going to be a happy family now that a baby was in the picture. Alas, that was just a dream, because apparently the poor guy wasn't even allowed to come to the hospital.
And so at what point did you then decide that Noah was Max's son?
I slept with both of them in the same week. Monday I slept with one, and then Friday I slept with another.
Say about 3 months into the pregnancy, she
I
broke
was
up.
confused. I didn't know who the father was.
Tune in for another mind-numbing confession from the baby mama. Man, she needs to be taught some serious lessons on loyalty and commitment, for real, and to stop getting into such messes. It's life, Missy, not your playground. Have some dignity, for the love of God.
When's the last time you were with your ex?
About a month ago.
She told me she
And I
wasn't. She
could
hasn't
be
been with him.
pregnant again. So I also could be pregnant again in the same situation that I'm in now, where both guys could be the dad.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
I believe Judge Lake reached her limit with our defendant over here. Unshockingly so. She made a seesaw of relationships and was truly well on her way to making one out of motherhood as well. I mean, come on. You gotta know when it's time to let go. Oh, I was a poet. Didn't even know it. Cringy much?
The issue is, Ms. Hall, is when you begin to bring children into the world. Children. It's not just you riding the seesaw anymore. They're on the seesaw, and that's not fair for
I
a
was
child.
confused. I didn't know what I wanted at the time.
Up till now, the ex had only been good at one thing in this whole cheating debacle. But it turns out, this guy was a good-for-nothing kind of fella. Yup, you heard that right. He had some thoughts about baby Noah.
He wants to be around him when it's good for him, but when it's good for me, he don't want to part with Noah. When I was with him last time, he told me I could either make my son shut up or he would. And I'm sorry, I'm not going to be with no guy that's going to tell me to make my son shut up. I'm not.
There's no reason to talk to any child like that.
This woman needs to learn when to shut up, especially in front of Judge Lake, because when you say things like that in paternity court, you better believe you're about to get served by Judge Lauren Lake.
He could have found a ride up there, I'm sorry, but if I was a guy and I wanted to see my baby so bad, I'd make sure I was there.
But if you're a guy who's not sure if the baby is yours and the other guy that your girlfriend runs back to all the time is there and he decided to sign the birth certificate and your girl told the other guy that the baby was theirs, maybe you might just stay home.
Miss Hall had played on the seesaw ride long enough. The players just kept adding up, and it went nowhere. Time to put an end to it all and roll out the truth of whether baby Noah had a family or not. Let's hear it.
When it comes to 10-month-old Noah Groom, Mr. Elliott, you are not Noah's father.
This defendant believed that Miss Prowell had a certain reputation and claimed he didn't father the baby being pinned on him. Well, we've heard that one before. Baby mama, on the other hand, had a few skeletons in her closet just waiting to come out.
Ms. Prowl, now you're asking the court to award you $475 in back child care expenses should one of 3 men be identified as your baby's biological father.
Yes, Your Honor.
Your 6-week-old baby has 3 potential fathers,
Yes, Your Honor.
including the defendant, Mr. Morton.
Mr. Morton thought he and his girl were one against the whole world. What a sweet thought, right? Well, little did he know other forces were at work too. Literally. The guy narrated the incident that started this whole cheating fiasco.
So I go into the sandwich shop. The guy, I think his name is Mr. Gaddis. He was gonna hand me the bag of bread. Before he did so, he asked me, was I involved with Miss Prowl? Now, I told him yes. You know, we had a little thing going on at the time. It wasn't very, very serious. Well, he was like, well,
You're listening
I
to
hope
other
you don't
people.
get too serious with her
He doesn't,
because
Your Honor,
I have
he doesn't
already
even know
slept
this
with
person.
her.
There was a party and there was alcohol. What could go wrong? Well, apparently a lot of things. While it was fun for the mommy to get down and dirty at the party, she didn't keep the hard consequences in mind.
I still had feelings for Desmond, and I still wanted to try to work it out, but that was more of a one-time thing.
So it's okay for you to do that, right?
Please do not cut
So
me off
how are you
because,
trying to
because you're
how
the
are you trying to
person-
justify
Miss
these
Prowl,
actions?
when you want to make a relationship work, having sex in the bathroom at a party is not really the way to do it.
And that's what I told her.
The cheating parade doesn't stop here. Nope, not at all. Apparently, Miss Prowell wasn't done doing things out of spite. She held no regard for what her impulsive attitude might cost her in the future. And we all know how that went.
You
Right for me to go
recognize
do it.
that this is 3 wrongs, though.
Yes, Your Honor.
He did wrong, but then you got him back, Mr.
5.
Gaddis,
Yes, Your
Threefold.
Honor.
Threefold.
and then Mr. Laurie.
Yes,
so,
Your Honor.
wrong, wrong, wrong.
Man, oh man, was that a sandwich shop or a hookup spot? Whether the sandwich business was going well or not, baby mama sure was having fun on the job. Employee of the month, right? Well, moving on to a special appearance in the court.
So you were sleeping with 3 co-workers from the sandwich shop.
Yes, Your Honor.
You contacted 2 of them to say you were pregnant, but you never contacted him.
Yes, Your Honor. But I do not want him to be my child's father.
Well, you can't control
one
that, can you?
possibly
You
could
act
be
like
the
you can pick.
father.
No one is talking to you.
Wow.
I didn't know you could pick.
Miss Prowell had 3 guys at her disposal, and yet only 1 out of the 3 baby daddies was there. It appeared the baby mama was sitting up on her high horse dictating to everyone. Well, she better be prepared because school was now in session.
Now you got a young man that's passionate about knowing
Your
whether
Honor.
he fathered a child. No. You gonna hear this. Now you sitting up here grilling him, asking him, does he know how to change a diaper? None of you all are that far out of diapers. You don't have any business. Now you question him, is he good with kids and he's this? Now all of a sudden you selected.
Baby mama didn't think that highly of Mr. Eric. He was good enough to have fun with, but not good enough to be a father. Wow, the audacity! Case in point, the plaintiff only knew how to make a rainbow calendar.
He's not really like this. He's not genuine. He could care less.
Really? How would you know that if you never told us?
Is Mr. Gaddis, is he compassionate? Is Mr. Gaddis
He's not
compassionate?
even here, so why
No,
are we
but
that's
you
what I
know
was
him, right?
just
Since you
about to
don't know
say.
me, but you know him. So is Mr. How about
He's
Mr. Morton? Is
here?
Mr. Morton compassionate? Like, since I'm
No,
just
all
like
he
the devil,
cares about
you know?
is his video games.
Fasten your seatbelts, people. Judge Lake was about to holler some sense in this baby mama's head. It was about time that this teen mom got a reality check, and we know who's phenomenal at giving those.
When all of them can say they have doubt about whether or not they're the father, who doesn't have doubt about whether they're the mother?
I do, Your Honor.
Exactly, and that's what teen girls don't think about when you're laying around with little boys because you think you cute, up at parties, having a ball, turned up, and now
You turned out by yourself.
The fun that the plaintiff had with the defendant and these guys put baby Ethan's fate at stake. Now, his life was just one big question mark, and it was high time to put him out of his misery. Time for the results.
Mr. Gaddis is not the father. It has been determined by this court the father is Mr. Morgan.